I plan to live to 100 by following this complete vegan nutrition guide developed by our team using the latest nutrition science and insights from thousands of clients that we've worked with directly. This strategy is not about giving up your favorite foods. It's about adding the right foods and some strategic supplements to help you avoid deficiencies and maximize your lifespan. Science has proven that a plant-based diet is one of the most powerful tools to extend our lifespan. Large-scale studies consistently link meat consumption to a higher risk of disease and death. It's no coincidence that people in blue zones, regions of the world with the longest lifespans, eat predominantly or entirely plant-based diets. One big reason plant-based diets help people live longer is that they are full of essential nutrients. A 2021 systematic review found that people who eat plant-based diets typically have higher intakes of fiber, polyunsaturated fatty acids, folate, magnesium, and vitamins B1, B6, C, and E, all nutrients critical for optimal health. However, while plant-based diets offer a powerful nutrient boost, some studies show that vegans may be more susceptible to deficiencies in key nutrients like vitamin B12, iodine, selenium, and zinc. Deficiencies like these can have serious effects on your health and lifespan, but they're entirely and easily preventable with the right approach. I've been vegan for over 10 years now, and I have the blood work to prove that I have zero deficiencies. In this video, we'll cover the 9 essential nutrients that are often overlooked in unplanned plant-based diets, and why they're so important. Then I'll walk you through our complete vegan nutrition guide to help you avoid deficiencies and maximize your lifespan. Let's dive in, starting with the first of 9 key nutrients, iron. Iron deficiency is one of the most common nutrient deficiencies in the world, in part due to the inherent low bioavailability of dietary iron. Iron is essential for producing hemoglobin, a protein found in red blood cells that carries oxygen throughout the body, and for supporting overall energy metabolism, immune function, and cognitive health. Here's a chart of the recommended daily iron intakes for both men and women, according to the National Institutes of Health. There are 2 types of iron: heme iron, which comes from meats, and non-heme iron, which comes from plants. Non-heme iron is healthy, whereas heme iron is not. And here's proof. In 2017, researchers from the National Cancer Institute used data from the NIH AARP Diet and Health Study, which is the most rigorous study of diet and mortality ever conducted, with more than 500,000 participants, to show for the first time independent associations between the intake of heme iron and death. Specifically, the researchers determined that 20.8% of the association between unprocessed red meats and all-cause mortality was statistically accounted for by the heme iron intake alone. While heme iron intake is associated with an increased risk of death, critics of plant-based diets will counter this by saying that non-heme iron is less bioavailable. That is true. The most commonly cited non-heme iron bioavailability multiple is 1.8x from research conducted in 1991. Here are the resulting bioavailability adjusted recommended daily iron intakes across populations. Even though non-heme iron isn't absorbed as readily, you can still meet your daily needs, you just need to eat a bit more of it. And I don't know about you, but I'd rather put a little extra effort into making sure I get enough non-heme iron from plant-based foods than increase my risk of death by consuming heme iron from meat. The best way to ensure an adequate intake of non-heme iron is to eat the best sources, which include tofu, white beans, lentils, pumpkin seeds, black beans, oats, chia seeds, hemp seeds, quinoa, and spinach. And to improve your absorption of non-heme iron, you can strategically pair foods high in iron with foods high in vitamin C. That's because just 50 milligrams of vitamin C boosts iron absorption by up to 4 times. You can get 50 milligrams of vitamin C or more from 1 small orange, 1/3 of a cup of red bell peppers, 2/3 of a cup of cut strawberries, or 1/2 cup of cooked broccoli. So, with proper planning, how feasible is it for the population with the highest iron needs, pregnant women, to get enough plant-based iron? A pregnant woman's daily recommended iron intake is 27 milligrams on a mixed diet of plant and animal foods. or 48.6 milligrams of plant-based iron after using the 1.8x bioavailability multiple. This is slightly above the tolerable upper intake level of 45 milligrams per day for adults, but that figure is based on a mixed diet that includes heme iron from meats. Plus, even if you do go over, eating a little extra plant-based iron isn't a big deal because your body is much better at regulating its non-heme iron intake to meet your precise iron needs. But beyond the bioavailability of non-heme iron, iron absorption rates also vary based on other factors like meal composition and the inhibition of iron absorption due to calcium and certain compounds like phytates, polyphenols, and oxalates. In fact, two beverages that are high in polyphenols, coffee and tea, have been shown to reduce iron absorption by 50 to 90% when eaten with an iron-rich meal. Furthermore, the efficiency of iron absorption can vary between individuals due to differences in intestinal health, iron stores, and overall iron needs. With these iron absorption factors in mind, let's be very conservative and say that adding vitamin C to an iron-rich meal simply cancels out the lower bioavailability of plant-based iron. So to boost our non-heme iron bioavailability to match that of heme iron, we just need to be sure to include 50 milligrams of vitamin C in our meals, which is really easy to do. If you make oatmeal for breakfast with half a cup of dry oats, 1 cup of vanilla soy milk, and some extra water, then add 1 tablespoon each of ground flaxseed, chia seed, and hemp seed, and top with a half cup of mango and 2/3 of a cup of chopped strawberries with half of a medium orange on the side, that is 6.4 milligrams of iron with a vitamin C boost from the mango, strawberries, and orange to, at minimum, counteract the lower bioavailability of this meal's non-heme iron. Throw in a serving of pea protein powder for a protein boost if you want, and that's another 2 to 7 milligrams of iron depending on the brand. This breakfast totals a whopping 11.4 milligrams of iron in just 600 calories. We also added an ounce of almonds as a snack to boost our vitamin E. For lunch, we'll have a tofu kimchi rice bowl with bok choy that packs 8.1 milligrams of iron and over 50 milligrams of vitamin C. This recipe is absolutely delicious and perfect for cozy weather. Then for dinner, we'll have some hearty tofu chili with a garlic kale salad. Each serving contains 4 ounces of super firm tofu, a 1/3 cup of white beans, and a 1/3 cup of black beans, along with a 1/4 of a medium red bell pepper, crushed tomatoes, lime, garlic, onion, and other spices. A serving of this tofu chili paired with our flavorful garlic kale salad packs another 12.7 milligrams of iron with a vitamin C boost from the kale and red bell pepper. This meal plan clocks in under 1,800 calories with 33.4 milligrams of iron and at least 50 milligrams of vitamin C in every meal. This is just one example of a meal plan that proves, with proper planning, that anyone, including pregnant women with the highest iron needs, can get adequate non-heme iron by following a 100% plant-based diet without iron supplements. Please remember that the only way to know for sure if you are getting enough iron is to get a regular blood test. And if you are pregnant, please consider evaluating your diet, blood work results, and potential supplement needs with your physician. Next up is zinc, which is important for your immune system, wound healing, metabolism, and DNA synthesis. The recommended daily target for men is 11 milligrams and 8 milligrams for women, or 11 if you are pregnant and 12 if you are breastfeeding. Now, there is no single food that will meet your daily zinc needs like there are for some of our other nutrients. To get enough zinc, you should eat 3 important vegan food groups daily: whole grains, nuts and seeds, and legumes. The best sources include quinoa, whole wheat bread, oats, pumpkin seeds, cashews, hemp seeds, tofu, lentils, and tempeh. However, the zinc in these foods is often bound to compounds called phytates, natural compounds in plant foods that can block the absorption of certain minerals. But, just like with iron, there are some ways to boost absorption. For example, adding some chopped onion or a clove of garlic to your meal can increase zinc absorption by as much as 160%. If your doctor confirms that you have a zinc deficiency, a supplement may be necessary. Otherwise, high-dose zinc supplements should be avoided, as excessive zinc intake can actually throw off other minerals in your body. Many vegan multivitamins contain some zinc to contribute toward your daily needs, which can be helpful to make sure that you're getting enough without going overboard. Next is vitamin K, which is essential for blood clotting and bone health. It comes in 2 forms: K1 and K2. Vitamin K is found most abundantly in plants, which gives vegans a leg up. The best sources of vitamin K1 are dark leafy greens and cruciferous vegetables, like spinach, kale, Brussels sprouts, and broccoli. Dark leafy greens can even be considered as a kind of K1 supplement, since just a single cup of raw or 1/4 cup of cooked spinach, collard greens, or Swiss chard provides all of the vitamin K that you need for the day. According to the National Institutes of Health, the NIH, the recommended daily intake of vitamin K for adults is 120 micrograms for men and 90 micrograms for women. Vitamin K1 accounts for 90% of the total vitamin K in the average person's diet. However, only 10 to 15% of K1 is actually absorbed through the digestive system. Getting vitamin K2 is a bit more challenging. Bacteria in our gut can convert vitamin K1 from these foods into vitamin K2, but this process is limited and varies from person to person. Research suggests the consistent consumption of vitamin K2 can reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease, bone loss, and potentially other age-related diseases. Furthermore, vitamin K2 has a longer half-life, meaning that it stays in the body longer than K1, allowing it to continuously support bone and cardiovascular health over an extended period. There are several forms of vitamin K2, but MK4 and MK7 are the most studied. MK7 appears to have greater potency in terms of absorption and bioavailability. While fermented foods like sauerkraut and kimchi provide small amounts of K2, the richest dietary source is natto, a Japanese fermented soybean dish that contains around 900 micrograms of MK7 per 100 grams. And now I'm going to try natto for the first time. All right. Honestly, this looks pretty gross. Let's try it. My mouth doesn't even want to chew. If this extended my lifespan by a decade, eating this every day, I would happily choose to die 10 years earlier. That's how it tastes. And for the record, there's a Japanese grocery store that we got this from. This is legit. This is not some American style natto. Yeah, that is unreal how bad that is. So as a side benefit, fermented foods like sauerkraut, kimchi, and natto are great for your gut health because they contain beneficial bacteria or probiotics that can help balance the gut microbiome. And that's why Dr. B recommends that you eat them daily.
Increase your fermented food intake to several servings per day. By the way, a serving is a rather small amount. Like, so for example, if we're talking about sauerkraut, we're literally talking about a couple bites of sauerkraut. We're not talking about a big bowl. So increase your fermented food intake and let's see what happens to your microbiome.
If you don't eat plenty of K1-packed plants and regularly consume fermented foods that contain K2, particularly natto, then you may consider supplementing with a vitamin K2. In fact, nutrition researchers have been calling for a separate vitamin K2 recommended daily intake for years. But if there's no current recommended daily intake for vitamin K2 in the US, then how much should you supplement? Well, in Japan, natto is frequently eaten in doses of 50 grams, which equals about 450 micrograms of MK7 per day, with no reported adverse toxic or dose-dependent effects. In fact, longevity pioneer Brian Johnson currently takes 5,000 micrograms of MK4 and 600 micrograms of MK7 daily, which is how much his Blueprint Essential Soft Gel contains. Given the potential benefits of vitamin K2, it seems reasonable to supplement with 50 to 100 micrograms per day, which is the range that you'll find in most K2 supplements. But there do not appear to be any negative consequences for going higher if you choose to do so. Again, please keep in mind that there is currently no established daily recommendation, so this target might change. Hey, real quick, if you're getting value from this video, please hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. It really helps our channel grow, and we've got lots of amazing content coming that you're not going to want to miss. All right, back to the video. Next up is iodine, an essential component of thyroid hormones that regulate the body's metabolism. Most iodine on Earth comes from the ocean, so plant foods like nori, wakame, Kombu, and dulse are some of the richest sources of this nutrient. Now, I don't typically eat seaweed as part of my normal diet, so if you're like me, then you can use these foods as powerful supplements. Adults need 150 micrograms of iodine per day, while pregnant women require 220 micrograms, and breastfeeding women need 290 micrograms. 1 teaspoon of dulse can meet your daily iodine needs, and it works great sprinkled on soups, stir fries, or tofu scrambles. Just keep in mind that rehydrating or cooking seaweed can significantly reduce its iodine content. Alternatively, you can snack on a small piece of kombu every day, which is what I do to meet my iodine needs. In preparation for this lesson, I ran a simple experiment to determine how much kombu you should eat to meet your daily recommended intake. I mapped out a kombu seaweed sheet on paper, calculated the surface area, weighed it, and determined that a US quarter-sized piece of kombu, which is a circle with a 1 inch or 2.5 centimeter diameter, meets the recommended daily intake of all adults. This weighs less than a gram, so you cannot accurately measure it on a food scale. With this small serving size in mind, please note that kombu and other varieties of kelp are extremely high in iodine compared to other sea vegetables. So be mindful of your portion size. Too much iodine can cause thyroid dysfunction and other health issues, so you don't want to exceed the upper limit of 1,100 micrograms per day for adults. Additionally, choose a seaweed brand that tests for heavy metals. If seaweed isn't your thing, iodized salt is another food as a supplement option. Depending on the brand, half to 3/4 of a teaspoon of iodized salt meets your daily iodine needs. Just be mindful of your sodium intake. If you do not eat seaweed or iodized salt in your diet regularly, then taking a multivitamin containing iodine can be an effective and safe way to meet your daily iodine needs. Just be sure to monitor your intake. Next up is selenium. Like iodine, selenium plays a crucial role in thyroid health as well as DNA synthesis and antioxidant activity. It is found in a wide variety of plant-based foods such as whole grains, nuts, seeds, and legumes. However, the selenium content of these foods can vary based on soil quality. If you eat a varied plant-based diet that includes selenium-rich foods like Brazil nuts, then you should be well covered for your selenium needs. Men and women both need 55 micrograms per day, while pregnant and breastfeeding women require 60 and 70 micrograms per day, respectively. 1 Brazil nut on average contains 90 micrograms of selenium. This makes Brazil nuts a great natural selenium supplement. However, keep in mind the upper daily limit for selenium is 400 micrograms for adults. Exceeding this amount can lead to selenosis, a condition that causes symptoms like gastrointestinal issues, hair loss, fatigue, irritability, and nerve damage. Depending on the rest of your diet, eating just 4 to 5 Brazil nuts can put you beyond the upper limit of 400 micrograms per day for selenium, so be sure to consume them in moderation. These are not the kind of nuts that you want to be eating by the handful. Standalone selenium supplements can also increase the risk of toxicity if not monitored carefully. However, some vegan multivitamins contain a small, safe amount of selenium to help meet your daily needs, which can be a reliable way to ensure that you're getting enough without exceeding safe limits. Next up is calcium, an essential mineral for the structure of bones and teeth. It's also crucial for your heart, blood vessels, muscles, and nervous system. And newsflash, you don't need cow's milk to get enough calcium. Furthermore, cow's milk does not do a body good. It's genetically engineered to grow a calf from 80 pounds at birth to over 600 pounds within 1 year. Cow's milk also contains saturated fat, cholesterol, growth hormones, and can also contain antibiotic residues, which have been linked to health issues like heart disease, diabetes, acne, and cancer. There's a reason more than 65% of people in the world are lactose intolerant. Most humans stop producing the enzyme needed to digest lactose after infancy because we aren't meant to drink milk intended for baby cows. The recommended daily intake of calcium for most adults is 1,000 milligrams per day. For women over 50 and men over 70, the recommendation increases to 1,200 milligrams per day to support bone health as the risk of osteoporosis rises with age. The best plant-based calcium sources include legumes like white, navy, and kidney beans, leafy greens like collards, bok choy, and kale, and seeds like chia seeds and tahini, which is ground sesame seeds. These foods offer calcium that is generally well absorbed by the body. Also, many brands of tofu and plant-based milks are fortified with calcium, which can help meet your daily needs. To check if your tofu or plant milk is fortified, simply look at the calcium content on the nutrition label. If it's more than a few percent of the daily value, it's likely fortified. While it is possible to obtain enough calcium from non-fortified plant foods, this may require careful planning to include a variety of high calcium options in your diet. For most people, combining calcium-fortified foods with naturally calcium-rich whole plant foods is the most effective approach. Be cautious with calcium supplements, as some studies suggest that they may increase heart disease risk in postmenopausal women. Before taking supplements, consult with a healthcare provider to determine if they are necessary and safe for you. Keep in mind that the recommended upper limit for calcium is 2,500 milligrams per day for adults aged 19 to 50 and 2,000 milligrams per day for those 51 and older. Additionally, vitamin D is essential for optimal calcium absorption. Low calcium levels in a lab test could indicate a vitamin D deficiency rather than inadequate calcium intake. Next up are omega-3s, which are essential for brain, eye, heart, and immune health. These nutrients are not classified as vitamins or minerals, but are essential fatty acids that our bodies cannot synthesize on their own, so we must obtain them from our diet. There are three types of omega-3s: ALA, DHA, and EPA. You can get all of the ALA that you need by including at least one serving of an ALA-rich food in your diet daily. Some great sources of ALA are ground flax seeds, chia seeds, hemp seeds, and walnuts. The recommended daily intake of ALA is 1.6 grams for men, 1.1 grams for women, 1.4 grams for pregnant women, and 1.3 grams for breastfeeding women. You can meet your daily ALA needs with just one of the following: 1 tablespoon of ground flax seeds, 1 tablespoon of chia seeds, 2 tablespoons of hemp seeds, or 6 walnut halves for women and 9 for men. Pregnant and breastfeeding women should aim for 8 and 7 walnut halves, respectively. To maximize absorption, be sure to grind your flax seeds and grind and hydrate your chia seeds. A simple way to do this is by blending them into a smoothie with a high-powered blender. But what about the other two omega-3s, EPA and DHA? While our bodies can convert some dietary ALA to DHA and EPA, the conversion rates are quite low. Studies estimate that only 5 to 10% of ALA is converted to EPA, and just 2 to 5% to DHA in healthy adults. Some research suggests that DHA conversion rates may be even lower, below 1%. Decades of research have shown that supplementing with the omega-3 fatty acids, EPA and DHA, can help to maximize our health span. While it is true that fish and fish oil contain high levels of these omega-3s, they aren't the original source. Algae are. So why not skip the middle fish and go straight to the source? I personally take a vegan DHA plus EPA supplement made from algae. Algae-based omega-3 supplements are not only kinder to our fish friends, but they also help us avoid the toxic metals and pollutants that can accumulate in fish oil. Nutrition experts recommend at least 250 milligrams per day of preformed EPA plus DHA, meaning the actual form, not the converted form from ALA. Most vegan supplements provide between 400 and 800 milligrams per serving. For reference, Brian Johnson takes 1,600 milligrams daily, while the FDA recommends not exceeding 3,000 milligrams per day, with no more than 2,000 milligrams coming from supplements. As a general rule, it's best to avoid high-dose supplements unless prescribed by a doctor. Next up is the sunshine vitamin, vitamin D, which plays a vital role in keeping your bones strong and immune system healthy. Most adults need 600 IU of vitamin D daily, increasing to 800 IU for those over 70. There are two main forms of vitamin D, D2 and D3. While both support the same processes in the body, research suggests that D3 is more effective at increasing and maintaining vitamin D levels in the blood. Vitamin D2 is found in mushrooms exposed to UV light and fortified plant-based foods, while D3 is produced by animals, including humans, when exposed to sunlight. The fact that your body can convert light from a star into an essential nutrient is truly remarkable and should blow your mind if it hasn't already. To produce enough vitamin D3 from sunlight, aim for 10 to 30 minutes of direct sun exposure between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. at least twice a week on your face, arms, hands, and legs without sunscreen. For lighter skin, about 10 minutes is usually enough, while those with darker skin may need closer to 30 minutes. Factors like location, season, and cloud cover can also influence the time needed. It's important to note that over 40% of adults in the US have a vitamin D deficiency, and darker skinned people have the highest rates. Plus, as people age, their skin's ability to produce vitamin D from sunlight declines. Not only do many people struggle to maintain adequate vitamin D levels, but research suggests that getting a little bit extra can offer additional health benefits. These include a longer lifespan and a potentially reduced risk of chronic conditions such as cancer, cardiovascular disease, osteoporosis, and depression. The only way to know for sure if your vitamin D levels are optimal is through a blood test measuring 25-hydroxyvitamin D, also called calcifediol. Researchers suggest levels of 30 to 60 nanograms per milliliter should be considered normal and optimal, with more benefits possibly at the higher end of that range. My last blood test showed a level of 37 nanograms per milliliter, and I'm currently working to increase that number through supplementation for optimal health. Given the prevalence of deficiency, the challenge of getting enough vitamin D from food or sun alone, and the potential health benefits of higher intakes, most people would benefit from taking a vegan vitamin D3 supplement. In a 2024 review, researchers recommended a daily vitamin D supplement dose of 2000 IU, which is 50 micrograms, to prevent and treat vitamin D deficiency in the general adult population. Ideally, you should take this supplement with the largest meal of the day to maximize absorption. Just be sure to stay under the daily recommended upper limit of 4000 IU, or 100 micrograms. When shopping for vitamin D supplements, keep in mind that D3 is often sourced from animals, specifically lanolin, which is derived from sheep's wool. Thankfully, vegan-friendly D3 is widely available and typically made from lichen, a unique organism that combines fungus and algae. Just be sure to check that your vitamin D3 is vegan before purchasing. Last, but certainly not least, is vitamin B12, which is essential for forming red blood cells and DNA, and crucial for brain and nerve cell function. Contrary to popular belief, vitamin B12 is not produced by animals but actually comes from bacteria. In earlier human history, we would get vitamin B12 from plants grown in bacteria-rich soil, unfiltered water, and free-grazing animals who ate dirty plants. But today, soil quality has been affected by pesticide use, intensive farming practices, and other factors. Plus, we drink sterilized water, and most animals are no longer free grazing. Since most livestock today are raised without access to natural sources of vitamin B12, they're often given B12 supplements through injections or fortified feed. The irony here is that nearly all non-vegans get their vitamin B12 from supplements as well, but it's a cheaper, lower quality version that's already been passed through the body of another animal. So let's skip the middleman, or in this case, the middle cow, since we're not eating our animal friends, and instead go straight to the source. Many foods are already fortified with B12, including some brands of nutritional yeast, plant-based milks, and breakfast cereals. If you're relying on these foods for B12, always check the label to confirm that they're fortified. As you can see here, not all brands are actually fortified. While fortified foods can meet your needs, a B12 supplement is a good idea. B12 deficiency can cause serious health issues such as nerve damage and cognitive impairment. There are two main types of vitamin B12 supplements: cyanocobalamin and methylcobalamin. Research shows that cyanocobalamin is more shelf-stable and won't as easily degrade by the time that you use it. Most people will benefit from taking 50 to 100 micrograms of B12 daily or 2,000 micrograms weekly. If you have an existing B12 deficiency, your doctor may recommend a higher dose or B12 injections to bypass any absorption issues. As we age, our ability to absorb B12 declines, so for those over 65, the recommended dose may increase to 1,000 micrograms daily under the guidance of a doctor. It's worth noting that some research, including a 2024 systematic review and dose-response meta-analysis, has found that elevated B12 levels above 542 picograms per milliliter are associated with a modest increase in all-cause mortality risk, particularly in older adults. Specifically, for every 136 picogram per milliliter increase in serum B12, the risk of mortality increased by 4% in the general population and 6% in older adults. In my most recent blood test from Quest, the optimal range for B12 is defined as 200 to 1100 picograms per milliliter, and my level was 581, placing me slightly into the elevated risk category. However, it's important to note that researchers suggest higher B12 levels resulting from supplementation do not appear to be the issue. The increased mortality risk associated with elevated B12 is more likely due to diets high in meats, which are linked to conditions like cardiovascular disease and obesity. Ultimately, more research is needed to fully understand these associations. Regular blood tests are essential to monitor B12 levels and ensure they remain within a healthy range. Maintaining reasonable supplementation levels supports optimal health without posing additional risks. Hey, real quick, if you are finding value in this video, then I have a special gift for you. This video is actually a lesson in our brand new plant-powered body course, and I want to give you free access to the entire course as a thank you for supporting our channel. Just be sure to hit subscribe and click the link in the description to get free instant access to the full course. In this course, I'll teach you how to burn fat, build lean muscle, balance your hormones, and thrive on plants. You'll also learn how to build balanced vegan meals, determine your personalized nutrition targets for optimal health, and put together custom meal plans in just minutes using our custom meal planning tool, even if you've never made a meal plan before. Plus, you'll discover how to avoid common nutrient deficiencies and optimize your energy, gut health, and overall vitality. Just head to thevegangym.com/course to sign up and get instant access for free. There's a link in the description. All right, now back to the video. A quick note about blood testing. Keep in mind that nutrient needs vary across different demographics and life stages. Regular blood testing helps identify any deficiencies and allows for more tailored dietary or supplement recommendations. Before starting, changing, or stopping any supplements, it's really important to consult with your healthcare team, especially if you have a health condition. Now that we've covered the 9 nutrients that can be overlooked in an unplanned plant-based diet, let's put this information to use. When it comes to optimizing your health and avoiding deficiencies, I like to think about nutrition in 3 layers. Layer 1 is a diet rich in whole plant foods. This is our main focus, where we obtain the majority of our nutrients, including macronutrients, vitamins, minerals, essential fatty acids, fiber, antioxidants, and more. Layer 2 includes foods as supplements. These are specific foods that we can strategically eat to supplement particular nutrients. For example, eating a little seaweed every day for iodine. Layer 3 includes essential supplements that fill any remaining nutritional gaps to fully optimize our health. For example, a vitamin B12 supplement. By considering these layers, we can ensure a well-rounded, nutrient-rich plant-based diet that supports overall well-being. To make maximizing your health and longevity as straightforward as possible, we've designed, tested, and optimized a simple, comprehensive nutrition strategy built on these 3 layers. We call it the 3 layers of nutritional defense because this approach will defend you against deficiencies and support optimal health. While the 9 key nutrients on the left are often overlooked in unplanned plant-based diets, the 3 layers on the right provide an easy daily checklist to cover all essential nutrients, including these 9 and everything else needed for balanced nutrition. The lines connecting them indicate the best sources of each nutrient. Our goal was to create a single sheet with the most essential nutrition information that you need to thrive on a plant-based diet. I know it may look a little bit busy, but if you're looking for a one-stop guide to simplify vegan nutrition, this is it. Remember the high iron meal plan that we covered earlier? Not only is it rich in iron, but our dietitians specifically designed it to check every nutrition box in both layer 1 and layer 2. We'll use this meal plan as an example while reviewing our 3 layers of nutritional defense. Here's how our meal plan checks all of the boxes of layer 1. A diet rich in whole plant foods. We have 2 servings of leafy greens, 1 serving of cruciferous veggies, 3 servings of whole grains, 3 servings of legumes, 1 serving of nuts and seeds, 1 serving of berries, and at least 2 servings of other veggies, and at least 2 servings of other fruits. For optimal health, prioritize a diverse range of whole plant foods in your diet, including herbs and spices. This variety boosts overall wellness, particularly gut health. Beyond the layer 1 foods we've already covered, we're also incorporating cumin, chili powder, kombu, cilantro, kimchi, which includes a mix of fermented vegetables, flaxseed, and garlic in our meal plan. My diet is centered around nutritious whole plant foods, but I also enjoy vegan pizza, ice cream, tortilla chips, and other treats now and then. For me, an 80-20 balance, 80% whole foods and 20% more processed vegan options, is a sustainable, enjoyable approach that helps me look and feel my best. In other words, you don't need to be a whole food plant-based purist to be healthy. Just aim to check off the layer 1 boxes to the best of your ability and stick with a way of eating that you truly enjoy. I'd like to give a huge shout out to Dr. Greger and his incredible team at nutritionfacts.org. Our layer 1 checklist aligns closely with Dr. Greger's Daily Dozen, and for good reason. He's created a fantastic, straightforward guide to whole food plant-based eating. If you aren't already following his work, I highly recommend checking it out. The main difference between our checklist and Dr. Greger's Daily Dozen is that our 3 layers of nutritional defense aim to make it virtually impossible for anyone following this approach to develop even a low-level nutrition deficiency, while also maximizing your lifespan. We achieve these goals by adding 2 additional nutrition layers beyond a diet rich in whole plant foods, which brings us to layer 2. Layer 2 includes foods that we use as supplements, and we'll begin with iron and zinc absorption enhancers. We have included plenty of iron-rich foods in our meal plan like tofu, bok choy, tomatoes, and beans, and we've also verified that we have 50 plus milligrams of vitamin C in each meal, which counteracts the lower bioavailability of non-heme iron. We have also included plenty of zinc-rich foods like tofu, oats, hemp seeds, and almonds, and added garlic and onion to our meal plan to boost flavor and increase zinc absorption. Another important thing to include in your diet that most people don't eat regularly are fermented foods like sauerkraut, kimchi, and natto. These foods provide probiotics and vitamin K2, making them a great addition to layer 2. Just be sure that your fermented foods have live cultures, which means that they'll be located in the refrigerated section of the grocery store. We included kimchi in our tofu kimchi rice bowl. To meet your omega-3 ALA needs, aim to include at least 1 of the following daily: 1 tablespoon of ground flax seeds, 1 tablespoon of chia seeds, 2 tablespoons of hemp seeds, or 6 walnut halves for women and 9 for men. Pregnant and breastfeeding women should aim for 8 and 7 walnut halves, respectively. Next, let's talk about seaweed, which isn't something most people eat regularly. You can snack on nori, enjoy miso soup with wakame, or find other ways to incorporate seaweed into meals. However, if you simply want to use seaweed as an iodine supplement, aim for a US quarter-sized piece of dried kombu or 1 teaspoon of dulse flakes per day. Personally, I eat a small piece of kombu daily, which we included in our meal plan. The next food as a supplement that I love to use to hit my daily selenium intake is Brazil nuts. Brazil nuts are very high in selenium, so you only need 1 per day when you're short in selenium. In our meal plan, we don't need a Brazil nut because we're already getting adequate selenium from tofu, oats, brown rice, chia seeds, tahini, hemp seeds, black beans, and tomatoes. If your diet isn't meeting your daily selenium requirements, a Brazil nut is a fantastic addition. But if you're already hitting your daily intake, then there's no need to add one. That said, even with a Brazil nut, you'd still be well below the tolerable upper limit of 400 micrograms per day for adults. The final food as supplements category is commonly fortified plant-based foods. Examples include plant-based dairy, plant milks and tofu for added calcium, nutritional yeast for vitamin B12, and fortified breakfast cereals for iron and folic acid. Many plant-based meat substitutes are also fortified with iron and vitamin B12. While not essential, these foods can help you meet your daily nutrient needs more easily. Speaking of vitamin B12, it's time to dive into our third and final layer. Layer 3, supplements. Starting with vitamin B12, an essential supplement for vegans. While it's possible to get enough B12 from fortified foods like plant-based milks, nutritional yeast, and breakfast cereals, as we did in our meal plan, it's generally recommended to supplement with at least 50 micrograms of cyanocobalamin daily or 2,000 micrograms weekly. As we age, our ability to absorb vitamin B12 may decrease. So for those over 65, a daily dose of up to 1,000 micrograms of cyanocobalamin is often advisable. Another important supplement for optimal health is vegan algae oil, which provides preformed omega-3s, EPA, and DHA. Aim for at least 250 milligrams of combined EPA and DHA per day, but keep your total intake under 2,000 milligrams daily. Our meal plan already provides over 5 grams of the omega-3 fatty acid, ALA, which likely supports adequate EPA and DHA levels despite the low conversion rates from ALA to EPA and DHA. Still, adding a dedicated EPA plus DHA supplement on top of the meal plan is a good idea to ensure that we meet our omega-3 needs fully and maximize our health. Next up is vitamin K2. While our meal plan provides plenty of vitamin K1 from kale, bok choy, and kimchi, some of which our gut bacteria can convert to K2, natto is the only significant dietary source of vitamin K2. If natto is not a regular part of your diet, consider taking a K2 supplement. Although there's no established daily recommended intake, supplementing with 50 to 100 micrograms per day, which is an amount commonly found in K2 supplements, seems reasonable given the potential benefits of vitamin K2. For vitamin D, the sunshine vitamin, if you don't get sufficient sun exposure, consider supplementing with a vegan source of D3 from lichen containing 25 to 50 micrograms, which is 1,000 to 2,000 IU per day. While our meal plan includes some vitamin D from fortified soy milk, and in theory we could meet additional needs through sun exposure, most people would still benefit from taking a dedicated vitamin D supplement. Lastly, let's talk about multivitamins. A multivitamin is likely unnecessary if you follow the 3 layers of nutritional defense. However, it can be useful for consolidating supplements or filling nutritional gaps when traveling. Most multivitamins include vitamin B12, many contain vitamin D, and some have vitamin K2, but they typically lack omega-3s. Depending on your diet, they might help with harder to get nutrients like zinc, iodine, and selenium. Always check labels to avoid over-supplementing. One final thought on supplements. While getting nutrients from foods is always preferable, which is why layers 1 and 2 focus on whole plant foods, there's no downside to using supplements to optimize your health. From my perspective, some vegans seem compelled to prove that they can thrive solely on a whole food plant-based diet with just a B12 supplement. While that's certainly possible, for me, optimizing my health is far more important than what others may think about my nutrition and lifestyle choices. As a final reminder, before starting, changing, or stopping any supplements, consult your healthcare team, especially if you have a health condition. Now that we've covered all 3 layers of nutritional defense, here's proof of the power behind this checklist. After ensuring our meal plan checks all of the nutrient boxes in layers 1 and 2, we find that it meets the nutrient needs of nearly all healthy adults, including both men and women of all ages, as well as pregnant women, in just 1,800 calories with over 120 grams of plant protein. That's why we call it the ultimate plant-powered meal plan. Keep in mind, most people need more than 1,800 calories per day, so you can add any food that you like to this meal plan. An apple, a slice of vegan pizza, some non-dairy ice cream, or anything else, knowing that you've already hit your daily nutrient needs. For guidance, you can use our free vegan nutrition calculator to determine how many calories you need to achieve your dream body. If you need fewer calories, you can adjust by removing certain items. For instance, omit the tablespoon of hemp seeds to save 55 calories, the almonds to save 180 calories, or both to bring the meal plan down under 1,600 calories. Just be sure to add a quarter-sized piece of kombu to your lunch for iodine, or use about half a teaspoon of iodized salt throughout the day. Also, if you're pregnant or breastfeeding, it's especially important to consume more calories than this meal plan contains. Plus, breastfeeding women need a little bit more vitamin B5 and vitamin E than this meal plan offers. So you should add a tablespoon of sunflower seeds and half an avocado to your lunch to meet your daily requirements. Here's the full nutritional breakdown of the ultimate plant-powered meal plan generated using my favorite nutrition tracking software, Chronometer. Once again, this meal plan meets the nutrient requirements for nearly all healthy adults, both men and women, across life stages in just 1,800 calories with 120 grams of plant protein. If you need more calories, feel free to add whatever foods you enjoy, knowing that your nutrient needs are already covered. While it's technically possible to meet all of your nutrient needs with this meal plan, assuming that your nutritional yeast or soy milk is fortified with vitamin B12 and you're getting some natural vitamin D from the sun, I highly recommend adding a vitamin B12 supplement along with omega-3 EPA plus DHA and vitamin D3 supplements to support optimal health. When our team pulled together the final checklist, I thought to myself, wow, this looks so amazing. I absolutely want to put this on my fridge. So I had some high quality fridge magnets printed. Once our coaching clients heard about them, they started asking if they could buy one too. And I have to say, they turned out really awesome. You can download our 3 layers of nutritional defense PDF for free by clicking the link in the description. If you like a high quality magnet version for your fridge, there's also a link to order one as well. We offer 2 magnet options, the original, which includes both the 9 nutrients and the 3 layers checklist, and a condensed version with just the 3 layers checklist. Even if you decide to grab a magnet, you'll still want to download the free digital PDF, which is part of a comprehensive digital bundle. This free bundle includes both versions of the 3 layers PDFs, the full and checklist only version, the ultimate plant-powered meal plan with recipes and a grocery list, and a complete list of serving sizes for foods that check the layer 1 boxes, like leafy greens, cruciferous veggies, whole grains, and more. As a quick tip, if you're new to plant-based eating, we recommend starting by increasing your intake of layer 1 whole plant foods and then building from there. Wherever you are in your plant-based journey, consistency in nutrition matters more than achieving a single, perfect day of eating. So if you occasionally miss a box on our 3 layers checklist, that's totally okay. Stay focused on the bigger picture. Ultimately, the best eating plan for you is one that you truly enjoy, because sustainability is key. Following a strict whole food plant-based diet is not the only path to health. With the flexibility of our 3 layers checklist, your options are truly unlimited. While our ultimate plant-powered meal plan is more whole food focused, our dietitians have also created a healthy, junk food vegan meal plan featuring delicious options like pancakes, pasta, and pizza that checks all of our 3 layer boxes and also meets all nutritional needs of healthy adults in 2,000 calories with 120 grams of plant protein. You'll also receive this meal plan in the free bundle as well. If you found value in this video, please subscribe and take a moment right now to share it with one friend or family member who you would love to help thrive on plants. At The Vegan Gym, we're on a mission to empower 1 million people to achieve their best health and fitness on a plant-based diet. You are an important part of this mission. Help us make the world a better place by sharing this video and inspiring others. Please take a minute right now to share this video with someone you care about. It just might change their life. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.